Jimin almost became leader. Jungkook calls that moment the turning point of his life. A newly released in-depth interview in BTS's exclusive documentary format shocked the ARMY world and K-pop lovers alike. In the recording that was secretly released on HYB's internal channel, it was revealed a fact that had never been openly discussed by BTS members. Park Jimin, yes, Jimin was almost appointed as the leader of BTS, replacing RM, the official leader of the group. This fact not only surprised fans, but also made Jungkook, the magnate of BTS, reveal that it was the biggest turning point in his life. It all started with a documentary session titled The First Decision, BTS Before Debut, which revealed the members' early days when they were still trainees. In a segment that focused on 2012, a year before BTS' official debut, it was revealed that HYB had considered a change in the leadership lineup in the team. And the name Jimin, who at that time had just entered the final lineup, was considered as an alternative leader because of his meticulous, disciplined, empathetic, and able to reduce conflict. In the video, one of their former vocal coaches even said, "We see how Jimin takes care of all the members. When there is tension, he does not raise his voice, but he knows who to approach, who to hear. He is not a leader with a loud voice, but a leader who knows how to touch the hearts of others." And when Jimin's name was mentioned as a potential leader, all the members present in the interview session were silent, including Jungkook. Jungkook's face at that time couldn't hide his emotions. He sat down for a moment, then said, "At that time Jimin Hyung was really a leader. My life would have been very different." He explained that during the early years of training, he often felt lost. Still young, far from family, and in a very stressful competitive environment. He admitted that Jimin, not RM, not the coaches who often secretly accompanied him to dinner when he looked gloomy, who patted his shoulder when he failed to sing a high note, who called him Gukka in the softest tone when everything felt heavy. "I almost gave up. I remember that night. Everyone is home from training. I sat on the stairs behind the studio crying. Jimin Hyung came, sat next to me, and didn't say anything. Just sit down. Then he said, 'Slow down. If you're tired, take a break. But don't stop.' And I never forgot those words." Jungkook stopped talking. His eyes were red. And for the first time in the documentary, he admits, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Meanwhile, Jimin, who was also present in the documentary, smiled shyly when the moment of his candidacy as a leader was discussed. He admitted that at that time he did not feel appropriate and that RM already had the aura and capacity of a strong leader. But he also does not deny that during the training period, he often took on the role of counterweight. "I never wanted to be a leader, but if they ask me, I'll try my best. But I'm thankful that Namjoon is the one who leads us, because it frees me to be the other, the keeper of the emotions of the other members." ARMY who watched the documentary immediately exploded on social media. Many of them were surprised by the historical fact, but most actually felt a deeper appreciation for Jimin. Tags #Jimin Almost Leader, #Jungkook Turning Point, and #Jimin Saved JK immediately became trending on Twitter/X, Instagram, to TikTok. One of the viral comments wrote, "He's not a leader, but he's still a leader. Behind the scenes, in the hearts of the members, by Jungkook's side." And it's true. Behind his lowliness, Jimin has played a vital role as the glue that glues BTS's hearts. Not with orders, but with attention. Not with strategy, but with taste. Even more touching, in the final session of the documentary, Jungkook was asked a question. If you could have said something to Jimin back then, on the back steps of the studio, what would you have said? Jungkook smiled, looked down for a long time, then in a low voice answered, "Thank you for sitting next to me that night. Because with that alone, you saved me." After the documentary revealed the hidden side of BTS's internal dynamics in the pre-debut period, the wave of reactions from fans and the media did not subside. Not a few ARMY called the moment one of the most touching episodes in BTS's narrative history, where the members finally opened the door to memories that had only been their personal property. More interestingly, it wasn't just Jungkook who shared his emotional story. Other members such as V and Suga also shared how Jimin played an important role in the group's emotional stability, especially in the early days of stress and doubt. Suga mentions that in every small conflict that occurs, Jimin is not the most vocal, but always know when to come to someone's room to just sit and ask, "You okay?" Even when they all have a little fight over choreography or parts in a song, Jimin was the one who brought them back together, even though he himself sometimes felt that he was not strong enough. "There was a night when I thought BTS would break up before their debut," Suga said. But Jimin came and said, "If we give up now, there will never be tomorrow." That's the sentence that stops everything. But amid such praise and emotional flashbacks, one other moment in the documentary is of greatest concern, as Jimin and Jungkook both sit in the empty rehearsal room and rediscuss the old incident, in person and face to face. The camera highlights them in black and white format, as if confirming the simplicity of the moment, but also its depth. Jimin opened the conversation first. "When you said it was the turning point of your life, I didn't know what to say, Gakka. For me, that night was a turning point. But not because I saved you, but because I feel you're starting to trust someone." Jungkook stared at the floor for a moment. Then he said, "I'm not an easy person to talk to. You know that. But when you sat next to me, shut up, and stayed there for almost an hour without forcing me to say anything, it was the first time I felt someone was on my side." Then he added, in a voice that began to tremble, "That night, I learned that being strong is not about standing alone. It's about letting someone else sit next to you when you're not strong enough." Jimin smiled. She wasn't crying, but her eyes were watering. He answered slowly, "That's what I learned from you too. You stay here. You're not leaving." And the cameras captured the moment that made millions of ARMY emotionally collapse. Jungkook and Jimin hugged each other, without a word. Only a silent hug replaces a whole sentence that has not been spoken for years. After the documentary aired, thousands of digital letters from fans flooded the Weverse platform and social media. Many wrote of how they rediscovered the power of friendship and the warmth in a discreet relationship that so far only seems on stage. Some write, "Jimin is not just a lead singer. He is the soft pulse behind BTS power." Jungkook shows that love and respect don't have to be announced, just felt and guarded. Even the Korean and international media raised this segment as a headline, with headlines such as, "The quiet leadership of Jim Courier. When a heart speaks louder than words, Jungkook's turning point." BTS's story just got even more personal. One of the interesting follow-up moments happened in a mini press conference after the documentary was released. A reporter asked Jimin directly, "Have you ever regretted not being a leader?" Jimin replied with a gentle smile, "Not at all, because I know my position is not to lead from the front, but to make sure no one is left behind." The words instantly spread throughout the world. Thousands of fans quoted in different languages, making it a phrase embroidered on the jacket, written in fan art, even used as a tattoo by some ardent fans, and in one Weverse live broadcast a few nights later. Jungkook finally said something that fulfilled it all. He was sitting relaxed, answering fans' questions while strumming a guitar. Then suddenly he stopped, smiled, and said, "Maybe in another world, Jimin Hyung is the leader of BTS. But fortunately, in this world, he remains the one who saves us all in his own way." The ARMY is crying. Comments flooded in. They are two poles that take care of each other. It's not who's in front or behind, but who stays when you need. Now, whenever fans watch Jimin and Jungkook on stage, they don't just see two idols with perfect choreography and amazing vocals. They see two souls who once sat on the steps of the studio in a lonely night full of worries and choose each other for survival. And this story serves as a reminder that behind the glitter, there is a dark night that they went through together. And that every smile, every hug, every little look carries a weight from the past that is finally healed by the presence of each other. Because sometimes, being a savior doesn't mean being the strongest, but being the one who doesn't leave when everything feels like it's about to collapse. And in this story, that's Jimin's role for Jungkook. And vice versa.